Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the gift of an Eagles victory. Drink it in, man! Hell of a game today. I mean, going in, we were playing the Falcons in Atlanta, a place we haven't won at since 2009, when Michael Vick came out to the league. New team, Jalen Hurts gets to start, Nick Sirianni's first game. Starting out, Atlanta looked like they had a game plan for us, and that was keep the offense moving, keep the ball moving on offense, keep our offense off the field, and control the clock, dominate ball possession. But unfortunately, during those first two drives, they couldn't get into the end zone. They only scored field goals. Every time we got in the end zone, we scored a touchdown. And then we turned their game plan against them. And then, before you knew it, it wasn't just a defeat for Atlanta. It was a massacre. Seriously? These teams had how long to prepare? It's like, wasn't this supposed to be Atlanta's chance at redemption? Wasn't Matt Ryan supposed to make his spectacular comeback? I mean, what the hell happened? It was like, for the most part, it was like seeing two entirely different teams out there. Like, I truly thought the Eagles were going to win. I believe my Eagles were going to win, but I would at least think Atlanta would make it competitive. They got straight up pantsed in their own building against fucking Philadelphia. These pesky Philadelphia Eagles. The one team the Falcons are never able to beat when it truly mattered. The one boogeyman that has haunted that team's nightmares for about 2 decades. And you completely folded like an envelope. Almost like Pootie Tang was sending you that picture in advance of him kicking your ass, and then him actually showing up to kick your ass. Man, that movie was so stupid, but that's what made it entertaining. I mean, Jalen Hurts was doing his thing out there. There were a few minor mistakes that he made. He had a guy open deep, and he didn't see him. I mean, when Johnson gave us that costly penalty on one drive, the mistake that was made was they weren't going for the open field. You got to get the open field to keep the clock going. Maybe put points on the board. And them going for it when they probably should have went for a field goal. Because they were leading and they were controlling the game, they could probably get away with it. I mean, the first half, the Eagles definitely... That run defense was god-awful starting out, but it got better over time. The defense as a whole started out slow. They started out crappy, but then they just continued to get better over time. And in clutch situation, they completely came up big time. There was a strip sack that got called back because Ryan was called for an intentional grounding. There were a few things we could have asked more of, but pretty fucking happy, all things considered. And yes, I understand that it's just one game. Yes, I still believe, make no mistake about it, I still believe the Eagles have a chance at the wild card. But you can't help but, like I said before, you can't help but not be excited. I understand it's just one game. I understand Dallas looked a little bit smoother on offense against a better team in Tampa than we did today. Of course, bottom line is, we have a victory, they have a defeat. And they're going to be a much tougher challenge when that time comes. But either way, this is a pretty symbolic victory. This was the first game in a long time where the Eagles played a complete. The first game in a long time the Eagles played all 4 quarters. First complete game I've seen in years. And they finally put a narrative to rest. Finally beat Atlanta in Atlanta for the first time in a decade. Maybe it's the jersey color that was the real narrative all along. Maybe, just maybe. I'm really sorry, 𝔡'𝔞𝔯𝔯𝔦. I really am. You have every right to be fucking livid. You really do. I mean, 𝔡'𝔞𝔯𝔯𝔦 really thought they were going to beat us. And I supported his reasons behind it. I really did. And I could totally see that happening. But I picked my Eagles winning, and that's exactly what happened. And 𝔡'𝔞𝔯𝔯𝔦... I think 𝔡'𝔞𝔯𝔯𝔦 knew in the back of his mind that the Eagles were going to pull away with this. I think he knew. I think he knew the possibility of the Eagles pulling away with this. But he thought he was going to be competitive just like we did. Or at least most of us did. All I got to say is, I'm going to say this before, I said it before and I'll say it again. Thank God we got rid of Wentz when we did. Let's check in on him in Indianapolis, shall we? Some things just never change, do they? It appears that Carson Wentz still can't beat Seattle. That's the one team the Eagles are never able to beat, period. I guess that didn't change for him when he left us, now did it? Karma strikes its victims hard. That's all that shall be said. Anyway, this was an excellent day for me. Got up, put my favorite tie on, was ready to watch the game. Loved what I saw. Yeah, there are a few things the Eagles still need to work on, but the thing is, the Eagles as a whole started out a little sluggish, but they got better as the game progressed. Kind of like how Tampa's offense got better as that game progressed, but I think the Eagles' offense improved better. Again, completely different matchups, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But next week, we got San Francisco, and holy crap, I heard that Jimmy Garoppolo was the starter, but Trey Lance was in there, and he absolutely cut Detroit open, carved them up. So, that's going to be a pretty good matchup. And they might have a chance to upset us, but we'll talk about that in the future. Anyway, I'm off to celebrate. Peace and chicken grease. Maybe I'll show up in somebody else's live chat to revel in the glory. You have a good one.